Welcome to another Mr. Paul video. Today we are discussing ordering real numbers. We're going to be putting real numbers, right, which are all the numbers that we know, in order. More specifically, we're going to be taking a list of numbers and we're going to be ordering them from least to greatest. And that sounds simple at first, until we look at the list of the numbers that are on the list. We have a 4. We have a 2 over 7, 2 sevenths. We have a square root of 15, and we have a 0.6. And so we want to put these numbers in least to greatest. The problem is they don't look the same. I don't know what some of those are. So I'm going to use some of the tools that we've collected over the last couple of days to make these numbers look similar so that maybe I can tell the difference. 15 looks big to me, but it's the square root of 15. I don't know. Let's find out. Well, there's some numbers up here I know for sure that are easy for me to understand. And that is the 4, right? There's no other way to interpret it. It's just a 4. And then the 0.6. And I can tell which one's bigger between 4 and 0.6. So we're okay there. Now, what about this 2 over 7, right? We had 2 over 7, and we want to see how big that is. So let's grab a calculator, or we could use long division. You can easily use long division or a calculator. I'm going to use a calculator in this case. And I'll show you on the camera what it is. So let's turn my calculator on here. So we have a calculator. We're just going to press the top number divided by the bottom number, remember? So it's 2 divided by 7 equals. It's this big, huge number. 0.2657, blah, blah, blah. But we can round that, okay? We're going to round that. Instead of 0.2857, we're just going to round this to 0.29. And that's okay, because it's not going to matter how many digits far out, because I already know that it's going to be smaller than this, so I don't have to worry too much about it, about accuracy. Because it's irrational, it goes on forever. What about this square root of 15? Well, that's why I brought my list. Now, this list, once again, just to remind you, is a list of square roots that I know. I know what they are. And we use this square root list to help us estimate what this square root might be. So when we say that 1 squared, right, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, we use this idea to help us understand what square roots are. The square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3. We can think of these as two numbers that have to be multiplied together that are the exact same number that equal 9. That number that has to get multiplied together twice by itself is 3. So what two numbers equal 15? None. None that we could think of. We would never guess it. Which is why we put it between two numbers that we do know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 15 here, and I'm going to say, if I was to place it on this side of the list, right? On this side, where would it go? It would go right here. It would go right here, square root of 15. If I was to add it to the list. Well, if I know that the square root of 9 is 3, and I know that the square root of 15, or the square root of 16 is 4, square root of 15 is smaller than 16, but it's greater than 9, which means whatever number has to multiply by itself twice is going to be between 3 and 4. But I can be even a little bit more accurate. It's because there's lots of things between 3 and 4, and I want to be a little bit more precise. 15 is really close to 16. As a matter of fact, it's only 1 away, right? So it's, as far as proximity goes, right, how close it is to something, this number is really close to this number. It is 6 away from this number, right? To count from 9 to 15, you have to count 6 times, right? So it's 6 away. So it's really close to here. So I'm going to take an educated guess. I'm going to say that it's between 3 and 4, but really close to 4. So let's check. I'm going to say it's maybe 4.9. I'm going to guess. But it's not really a guess. It's an estimation. Even more importantly, I can use my calculator to check what the number is. Okay? So once again, I just need to use my square root symbol. Okay, so I'm gonna check the square root here. Let me clear this. So I'm gonna go square root of 15, and I can figure out what this is. It's actually 3.72983. I know it's a little fuzzy in the camera. Because any number that's not on that list is irrational. That's why it goes on forever. But this 3.87, oops. Mr. Paul made a mistake, right? Between 3 and 4, closer to 4, and I wrote a 4 here. That would have been over here. So my mistake is 3.9, right? 3.9. So we can think of this number as a 3.9. Which is great because now these numbers look the same. If I know these numbers look the same, I can definitely say which one's the least on this list so that I can tell which one to put first from this list. So for example, I know 0.29 is the smallest. So I'm going to put 2 over 7. And I can cross that off. I already used it. The next smallest is going to be 0.6, and it is 0.6. I can cross that off. The next smallest is 3.9. Remember, that is actually square root of 15, so I need to write square root of 15. And then the last number is 4. Putting the numbers in order from least to greatest is about using your tools, whether it's a fraction, whether it's a square root, or whether it's a decimal or a whole number, putting them in a way that you can understand and compare the two together. We've learned those tools over the last couple of days. Putting them in the list is a matter of breaking them down so they all look the same. Hope this video helps. Peace out, guys.